Welcome back to Bad Tree Productions.
Damn it, Andy!
I have no idea what's going on.
Hey Jeremy, have you noticed this?
You have an adapter for those.
Right here. Does it look like just Mopar Joe's been practicing his signature for a while? It looks pretty clean. It's not the first poster he signed.
He's that guy.
Alright. Welcome back to this episode of Bad Tree Productions as Jaybo illustrates the teardown discovery process.
No, give me that right now.
No,
just
stop.
hand it here, quickly.
No.
Quickly.
Alright,
Save it.
here's the intro.
Relinquish it. Welcome to Jaybo's Garage, home of
Jaybo's?
home of the polished turd. All right,
At least it looks good on camera.
back to what do you want to do, Blake? Here you go. I'm done. That's what I wanted to do.
That tears it. Oh.
Welcome to Bad Tree Productions. I'm Jaybo. And in this episode, we're going to rebuild another 904 Torqueflite. Yes, another 904 Torqueflite. We got to keep building them so you start getting them into your head so that you are comfortable with doing them yourself, okay? This particular build actually started out, about 2 years ago or whatever. Our good friends over at Rapid Transit dumped off a 904 Torqueflite for our 1986 Dodge D50 build, okay? And that build was going to have us building a 904 Torqueflite right out in the driveway. So from start to finish, you should be able to build this thing within about 8 hours, 6 hours, maybe, and maybe even quicker if you're more experienced. But I'm guessing maybe you're not, okay? So we're going to build it out in the driveway, just show you how easy it is. Anyway, in the meantime, I just got issues down in my driveway, and we're up here in the garage, and we're going to go ahead and do it up here. Let's see, in the meantime, we also picked up another 904 that turned out not to be a 904, and that's another story. We just went to Dubuque about, I'd say 2 weeks ago, and we scored this one. It's a 1970. We'll go ahead and show you how to ID your Torqueflite so that you can figure out what kit you need to buy, because they're kind of year specific, okay? So most kits cover, a relatively broad range or whatever, but you got to make sure that you're within that range or whatever. But I'll show you that. The ID tag or the ID numbers are on the pan rail. Down in the description, we'll leave a link to where you can find that information. There's one site on the internet that's got it. It'll actually decode your Torqueflite. All right, as far as tools go, you're going to need some common tools. So let's see, we got a 3/8 drive ratchet with an extension. You use 7/16, 1/2 inch, 9/16. Okay. You may need a 1/2 inch drive for the tail shaft bolts, and I believe those are 9/16. All right. We've got a couple of service manuals. We'll actually reference those on occasion. One thing I like to have around is Tom Hand's Torqueflite book. And even though I've done this since, 1984, it's nice to be able to reference just the sequence, okay? If I go off on my own, it seems like I always hit something where I got to kind of back out of it and then go forward again. So it's kind of nice to go through it with us. You want to maybe possibly consider keeping Cope's Racing Transmission's phone number on speed dial, because you'll need some John Cope racing parts. So you got a bearing race driver set. You can get away with sockets, I guess, of various sizes. All right. I've got a really nice pair of snap ring pliers, and this will take care of the big heavy snap ring that's in the tail shaft housing, and you'll see how that works. But it's got a nice kind of knurled tip to it that actually grabs that snap ring quite nicely. Regular pair of snap ring pliers. Got a pick also. This will work good for lip seals and whatnot. This is some 5/16 all thread, and you can go ahead and make yourself it can be a bolt too, but you can make yourself a dowel pin, and this will aid lining up your pump. As far as pump removal goes, We got a slide hammer, and it's nice to have two. I noticed some guys will actually go in from, after they remove the valve body, they'll actually go in behind, pry it out. They kind of bump it out and whatever. I guess I never did that way before. I've always used slide hammers. You can actually make a slide hammer out of, I think this is 5/16 thread. I'm not sure, or 3/8 thread, whatever. But anyway, you can make your own. These are cheap enough. You need a set of feeler gauges, all right, for checking clearances. I got a ratchet here. Compressed air is nice to have. I've got a dial indicator, and that's a little more, I guess, advanced or whatever for checking your input shaft end play. All right, get yourself a 6-pack of carb cleaner and compressed air. Big set of channel locks. This way you can go ahead and manipulate your tail shaft. And then this is a dead blow hammer or whatever. This will help put the pump kind of in with the aid of our all-thread dowel. Okay, something else that we have that's not really a necessity, and that is we've got a stand that kind of keeps the transmission in place. All right, you know, you can get away with. I think that's an actual Chrysler part, and I got it at a swap meet for $10. You can actually rig something up that'll fit these bosses here, just stabilize it, or just chalk it up. Chalk it up costs you nothing. So I think that about covers the tools. If there are additional tools, we'll cover them in the video. All right, so check out what we're going to slam into this pig, all right? Okay, so for the most part, there are several different variations of your rebuild kit, okay? And starting from least to most would be maybe just a regular gasket kit or whatever. Maybe gaskets and seals, okay? Some of the kits get more elaborate. There are master kits, deluxe kits, and they'll include like your clutches and maybe at least a front band. Typically, most of your kits won't include a rear band or whatever, because I guess they kind of like to think that maybe the rear band is probably decent. They usually don't wear out that much. And then there are different performance applications. You can get just a standard duty kit that'll just have standard duty clutches. There are heavy duty clutches or whatever. That'd be for like pickup trucks and so on and so forth. For our particular build, we opted for the Red Eagle, the Alto Red Eagle clutches and their corresponding steels, okay, for this kit. So, also went ahead and I picked up individual bushing kit, all right, and then I wanted to be as thorough as possible with this particular build, so I picked up a selection of thrust washers, all right. We did pick up a rear band for this build, and as you can plainly see here, this is a Cope racing transmission front band, and it has all this on it. Okay. Okay, so our build's going to be a little more performance oriented, so we went ahead and opted for the Transgo valve body reprogramming kit. Okay, so we're going to go with stage 3 or TF3. This is actually convertible to TF2. All right, so so if you do go with TF3 or stage 3 full manual, you can actually revert back to fully automatic. All right, so that's that. And just for the hell of it, I picked up a Sprague rebuild kit. It includes the rollers and the springs. Typically these are good, but if one were bad, you'd want to go ahead. And these are pretty cheap. This is under $10. We've got a kickdown band apply uvulator, and it's thicker. It's about twice the thickness of the regular. So under apply, it won't bend. It won't bend this part. I actually picked up an aftermarket accumulator, and I've got this corresponding. I actually picked this up from Cope Racing Products, but it's a blocker rod that'll actually go inside the accumulator. This accumulator has the rubber or whatever D-rings already installed on it, so that'll totally seal that. For some reason, that's important, and I don't know why. We've got the 4.2 apply lever, and we do have a deep pan. And with the pan, I actually opted for, and this is what we kind of do with all our Torqueflites, is we opt for this steel, this multi-layered steel silicone or steel rubber or whatever gasket. And this is a reusable gasket, so if you got to pop your pan off, then you've got this. It'll just last forever. And this is actually kind of kind of a Chrysler part, I guess. They started making these back in the 90s or whatever. And so anyway, I used to be able to get these at the dealership for about 16 bucks. I think this one here cost me about 23. What else we got here? This is the extension for our deeper pan. Okay, that'll space the filter down into the pan. And what else? I got one more thing here. I got the it's the pill style detent assembly. So instead of the ball, yeah, I had it right here, but
underneath your steels and clutches. No, underneath your clutches and steels. I thought I seen stuff.
But anyway, we'll show that when we get into the guts of it. But something else I like to do is I like getting this. The kit will come with the tail shaft seal, but I like this one here. It just offers more protection, so it's kind of a booted style seal. So, and I think with that, that's going to conclude what we're sticking into it. So next up, we'll show you gutting it. All right, we went ahead and removed all the bolts. It's a handful of 7/16, ½ inch, 9/16. You might need a half inch drive. Might need a bigger ratchet for the tail shaft bolts. They're pretty tough. I like to remove the tail shaft seal while it's still in the transmission. It's just easier instead of trying to wrestle with it. With it off the transmission. Wasn't that easy? So now we're going to peel our pan off and see what we got inside of here. I was a little concerned, at first because the transmission itself is relatively clean. We've run into some transmissions that were clean, like maybe somebody had power washed them before, and then the inside, and then it got shelved for like years, decades, or whatever, and the inside will be all rusty and so on and so forth. But this one here, it looks pretty clean. I mean, it's got a little wear. I mean, the pan's not. It's not bad. It's not bad. But
when they get back with you,
just saying, we're gonna go ahead and rebuild this. As far as screwdrivers, I mentioned maybe a Phillips before. As far as the bell body goes, sometimes that'll require a flat screwdriver. Sometimes if it's a later version of a Torqueflite, it might require like a Torx bit type screwdriver. So anyway, here we go. All right. The pump has 2 threaded bosses or threaded holes. Okay, and they're about 180 degrees apart from each other, and that'll facilitate your slide hammer. All right. So when you take the pump off, you want to make sure that you're kind of careful with it. There are bushings inside the pump. You don't want the bushings to get scraped on this input shaft. All right. So there's the pump. So you get a gasket here. This should come right out. Oh my God. Okay. And then the pump itself has an O-ring seal around it. All right. Go that way. We could actually remove this. Yeah, maybe not. We'll take the bell body out first. All right. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and remove the valve body. All right. 7/16 bolts. One thing you want to really watch is during the reassembly, you're gonna want to check what the torque specs are for this. Okay, because these are really, they were tight. They just felt tight. Didn't they seem tight to you, Ty?
It looked like you were struggling. But
Well,
I just
not
figured
really.
that's because you're kind of weak.
No. It wasn't because of that. It was because I was trying to be careful. Okay. So, all right. To remove this, we've got a series of 10 7/16 bolts, and then we've got these the kickdown lever for the kickdown arm and the gear selector arm. We need to remove these first before we can yank the valve body out. So get a flat blade screwdriver for these, and they've got a 7/16. They've got a 7/16 bolt also. They need to be loosened up, and they just come right off. we got these off. All right. So, I already loosened these nuts up, so I'm going to go ahead and buzz them out with the Milwaukee. So the bolts, you really don't have to keep track of them because the bolts are really kind of specific to the area that they go to. So you really can't screw up getting the bolts mismatched, I guess. You know, on some stuff it's kind of important, but in this case it's really not. So we can maybe put this in park and then and make sure that the park paw is locked into the park gear, and that'll make taking this valve body out easier. So usually I'll use like a big pair of channel locks.
Get you going.
What are you doing, Jaegerbomb?
Double count.
I like those glasses.
You want one, I'll give you one.
And there we have it. I'm going to back out the band adjustment bolt, and I got the, what do you call it?
Strut rod.
Got that strut wide thing. You know what? That doesn't look like my new one that I got.
Well, slide this out and we'll compare.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and pull the front and rear clutch drums out, and as you can see, the kickdown band came out with it. All right, so we're gonna set this on the bench. Snap ring pliers. Snap ring pliers.
I hate people so much that I can't play it.
Oh my God! Every time with the snap ring pliers.
Oh, the snap ring pliers. Do you get them to squeeze or to spread?
Squeeze. Right. Oh, shut up. Oh yeah.
It was a legitimate question.
Oh my God. There, it came right out. See? Boy, that's gonna be. There you go. Planetary. The low reverse band adjustment bolt. Taking it way the hell out. Let me extract the sun shell. Here's some bushings in there. Okay. All right. Next we got another thrust washer. Then we got the rear planetary gear set. Okay. That is contained in the rear annulus. The butt of all Torqueflite jokes. All right. Okay, so to get the rear band out, you rotate it counterclockwise so that these lugs are up top, 12 o'clock position. Then just go ahead and pull it out. Right.
What are we looking at?
bad.
Looking at some good stuff, huh?
It looks good. Yeah, maybe we'll reuse it.
Say, what's the least wear item is that band, isn't it?
Right. Yeah, they usually.
And that's
the rebuild kits never really come with them.
That's a 3-band.
Yeah, it's actually one piece, but it looks like three. It looks like three sections.
So what's there's an upgrade.
Yeah, that's what I've got over here. It's wrapped in all. Well, no, this is.
That's what I'm saying.
This is actually this is the same one, but it's a new one. I'll probably go with this. Okay, this is the front one. All right. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, good. All right. Now what? Oh, we got the sprag. No, we'll just leave that. We're gonna go ahead and take the tail shaft off next. All right.
And you've already taken all the bolts out.
You bet. Yep.
Because you have to do that, otherwise you're.
Yeah, see how them work? That's nice. That's a one-handed operation there. That's got them fully spreaded.
It's better than 2 flat blade screwdrivers.
Right. In a pinch, you can use flat bladed screwdrivers, but this is so much nicer. But it looks like that shaft's just going to come right out.
Wait. You get the speedo gear out, Jay?
No. Good eye.
Ah, the student has become the master.
You shut your damn dirty hippie mouth.
I don't know much, but I knew that one thing. Did you catch that, Ty? I think we've devolved from our episodic shooting, and now we're doing what Blake didn't want us to do.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay.
And what color is that? And
It's
number
black. Black is going to have a 2-digit number here that corresponds with your rear axle ratio and your tires. There are guides on the internet as far as the right one for you. Okay. There should be a seal. There'll be a seal inside of here also that need to be replaced. And there's an O-ring on the outside. All right. And then depending on your number on the pinion, it should correspond with these sets of numbers here. And that's how you position this. So you can see how this is offset. Okay. This will actually, depending on your pinion ratio or whatever, that'll make it mesh with the
driven gear.
Yeah, we'll pull this out and show you that. With this here. So this fits right in there. Meshes with that.
Nice. Good job, Jay.
So here's a governor sister assembly. Okay. And for our purposes, we'll just ignore this, but we'll leave it in place just due to what harmonics, I believe, or whatever, because this might have a balance to it or whatever, and it'll require this, so we'll just leave it in place. So, but because we're going with the TF3 kit, it won't require the use of a governor. All right. So anyway,
Well, this thing's clean, isn't it?
yeah, it's not bad.
It's a lot cleaner than the last couple.
Right. Here's our accumulator. And depending on your application, whether it's a 904 or 727, you're going to have an accumulator spring. It could be up on top, or in the bottom like this one here is. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to replace this with one that's just got O-rings on it and a blocker rod. Okay, no spring whatsoever. So
Solid.
you bet.
No movement.
I probably dumped that sprag all over the place, right?
What's the advantage of that?
What's
Using
that like?
the solid.
This? I know there's no cushion during a shift, and I don't know what shift it is, but it'll eliminate that cushion, I guess, or
The
whatever.
shift overlap.
Right.
Is that what it is?
I have no idea. Don't ask me questions that I don't know the answer to, because it just puts me in a negative light. All right.
On the spot is what he went to say.
Right.
Gee, Mr. Colt.
This, like, you can just throw hot dogs at this until the snap ring pops out, I guess, from what I gather. But we'll probably use a screwdriver. I might need a secondary screwdriver. Not a Phillips one either.
Drop your hot dog on there.
You son of a... All right, I'll be back.
He'll be back. What are you doing, Jay?
Wiggling the snap ring out.
Of?
The front servo. This is the front one, since we already got the back one. You threw brats at it till it came apart. Right?
I wonder if the age-old answer,
Find that. It's right by your toe.
the difference of the hot dog package count to the bun count
What's that about?
can never be answered.
I've never what? Okay.
You don't know that?
Here we go. And I think that's going to do it.
For round
this.
one?
Yep. Actually, I've got the sprag that can come apart yet. All right. We'll go ahead and do that right now.
Just make a mess.
Yeah.
Now, do you have to do this if you were just rebuilding it to rebuild it?
Oh, just take the sprag out?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're going to want to clean this really good, so chances are it's going to fall apart on you, you know. But, and plus we're going to modify this by drilling a hole in it, you know, up here. We'll show it. Let's get into that here.
But if your average, let's say, I don't know, your average Joe.
Yeah, he's just repairing it,
Just
maybe.
Making it work again, and he ended up with a clean transmission, such as, would you just kind of maybe wipe everything out and throw clutches and bands in it?
It's up to you. I mean, but, I mean, things got to be, when you're doing this, things have to be, they have to be spotless, you know. So you're going to want to take everything apart and clean it. You're just going to want to, I think. But you be the judge of it. We can go ahead and hammer out this this gear selector seal. Right, I can probably do it right now. Yes, right?
Use a seal puller.
Why?
Yeah, big chunk of the case just fell out.
No way.
Yep.
So, you know, we got our servos here. They come out kind of like so. All right. And I believe this one comes in for some modification with a TF3 kit. All right.
Spring change, I believe.
Yeah. So we'll set this all together. So, and this, for some reason, is not wanting to come out. I got her. Got her, Jeremy Slaughter.
Mm-hmm.
There we go, and she's totally gutted.
I've got a question.
Yeah,
if
go
you're
ahead.
trying to get that out and it's not coming out very good, can you put compressed air in this hole right here
You can,
and then blow it?
right.
Yeah, yes, you can.
Yeah, there are-
we
there
did
are-
that once. It's,
Okay.
Right. Yeah, good point. Yeah.
I just
you
just
can do
was
that.
sitting there watching. I thought that it looked like you could do that, but
you got to know which passage to hit, because I tell you what, you'd hit the wrong one, and all the slop from this would be in your face.
right.
Whatever.
Well, you don't want to wear eye protection, I'm guessing.
Right on. You bet. So there you have it. I mean, with the exception of maybe the neutral safety switch. I mean, you can take that off. There is like a cupped steel rubber seal, I guess, on that. For the most part, if it doesn't look like it was leaking, I just kind of leave it. There are some steels in these shafts that that support the for crying out loud, the servo lever apply.
Apply levers.
And we are going to actually have to take this one off because our build is going to require a 4.2 ratio rod on that. And then this one here is also, you can remove this also. There's a seal inside the case too on that. But for the most part, I usually don't touch those because they usually don't leak. I've never seen them leak. But anyway, that'll be one of those seals that's in your kit. And you're like, where the hell does this thing go? So whatever. So and with that, I think we'll continue tomorrow. All right. So, like, share, subscribe, you know, hit that notification thing, whatever it does. I have no idea. Write, comment. Oh, leave a comment. Comment with your comments in the comment area. You know, if you have any questions, okay? We're here to help. Really. Yeah. Bye-bye.
こんなところで終わっちまうくらいならわざわざ生き残るかよくれ
I've never done it before, and I was thinking of this shit. I'm going to become a transmission mechanic.
Listen to this. Listen to that.
For it.
Why wouldn't Tyler know his way around